Okay, step one is to get your cylinder out. Okay, in my case there's a little hole which you can see at the top. This marks the top of like an index marker where the key is straight up and down. But it's also what they call a poke hole to get the cylinder to come out. So what you have to do, if you have a lock like mine, is keep jiggling it till you get it to accessory. Okay, and it stops right there. There's a hard stop. Okay, then you get a paper clip and you push in and you can feel it spring. In, out. You can feel there's a little spring behind it. Okay, it won't just pop out though. You have to hold the paper clip in and turn it a little further. But then you have to pull your paper clip out and keep turning it. Okay, now you noticed it turned about, let's say, 1/4 of an inch past accessory. Alright, so at that point you can jiggle it and jiggle it some more and it's out. Okay, so now what do? You can turn this with a screwdriver, as some of the other videos showed, which is nice. You can start your car, vroom, vroom, vroom. But you need to replace this. Okay, one option is to pay the money, order it online or wherever, and wait for it to come in. The problem is it can be expensive. For my vehicle it was over $100. And second problem, the key will not match your door key, so forever you'll have a separate key for the ignition and the door. Okay, you could have a locksmith rekey it to match your key, but you're talking a lot of money there. Okay, so I'm going to show you what might fix it for zero money. Okay, here we are at step 3, and this is the cleaning. And I'm on Q-tip number 12. I had the cheap Dollar Tree ones and they worked pretty good. I ran out of those. Now I'm on the Q-tip brands, and they require a little more work. You want to remove most of the cotton, but not all. Okay, here's the cylinder, and you can see the 5 holes. And what you want to do is twist that in and make sure it's aligned. You may have to have your key to align it straight up and down. And then you twist it, and then it comes out dirty and progressively less dirty as you go through your Q-tips. This is number 12. But it does seem to be doing the job. Mostly what was there was WD-40 and other crud. Okay, I might go through one more Q-tip, but you get the idea. You're going to clean it. Clean, clean, clean. And then the inside, I would try to clean that as well. The WD-40 is great stuff, but it might not have been a great idea for this application. Okay, now starting the reassembly, and I'm going to use some powdered graphite instead of the WD-40, and there's still a little bit of WD-40 there, which is going to stick to the graphite, but hopefully the graphite will win out. Okay, there. Not sure how much is in there, so let's go ahead and shoot it again. I see it coming out the keyhole, so it must be a lot. Okay, now I'm going to put in the bottom pins first, and if you look at the pin, it's sort of bullet shaped. One end is flat and the other end is sort of tapered. So the tapered end goes in first, and this is the first hole. So I'm going to go ahead and put almost put it in upside down. Okay, and it just dropped in. I'm going to go ahead and put the other 5 in. Okay, now I've got the 5 bottom pins in. Now I'm going to work on the top pins. And these are shaped a little different. They have a little turn down for the spring to fit in, and obviously that goes at the top. So I'm going to put this one in, number 1, and let it drop, and then I'm going to put the other 4. Okay, ready for the last one. And I should mention that I did carefully wipe each one off with a tissue, and I also, after each one, I checked with the key, make sure that I didn't get them out of order. You get them out of order and you've rekeyed your lock. So it looks okay, pretty smooth. You can see them when the key's out, they all drop down and obviously will not turn. With the key in, you see them raising to the right height, what's called the shear line. So far so good. Now I'm going to put in the springs. Okay, got the pins in, the springs in, and I'm going to put the key in, and you notice the springs going up and back down. And I'm going very slowly because they tend to jump out, and 3 different times they jumped out and I had to get my super magnet and find the springs. You'll also notice that there are only 4. The first one is missing. The reason is when I put that one in, it was very rough, and it was like a clunk, clunk, clunk every time that it went past that pin. So I just decided to take that one out. It's still got 4 in it. It's maybe 20% less secure, but it, as you can see, it's pretty smooth. Maybe not like a brand new one, but very usable. And so I'm going to put it back together and show you how that goes. Okay, I'm putting this little cover back on, but in doing so, actually it wouldn't go back on. It looked like this had been crimped so as not to come apart. So I filed off one of the legs, the one here, the one that was crimped the most, and I'm hoping that it's going to go back on. I might have to file another leg off. Actually, I don't need any of the legs because it holds itself on, and then once it goes inside the case, it can't go anywhere. Okay, so let me not bore you with this. I'm going to file another leg off. Okay, little cover's on, and it's working good. This is the thing that actually starts the car, turns to the thing that starts the car. So it's ready to reassemble. So we have to do the procedure in the reverse. Turn it to accessory. Goes in smooth as silk this time as opposed to the first time. Find your paper clip. And find the hole. Okay, well, it moved. Okay, so spring. Now while it's in, start turning it to the left, pull your paper clip out, and then let it go further. Now it's about 1/4 inch past accessory. Now here is slightly tricky part. You have to put your socket, you have to take a screwdriver and you have to turn it all the way to the left, and that will be straight up and down and will match with this part. Okay, if it slips out of place, you start over. Now you see the that little silver part is going to slide right down in that groove. Okay, so it should go all the way down, and then you push in, turn it to the right, and that's it. Ready to drive. So that's it. Hopefully this is helpful, and this, you know, I spent several hours on this, but it cost me no money so far. Thanks for watching. Yeah, one more thing. Don't anyone fret about that one pin that I left out. My car's not worth stealing anyway, so if they want it, they can take it. Some of you know what I mean, right? Actually, seriously, you could leave all the pins out if you want. If you did that, of course, any key would start it, or even a screwdriver. So not advisable if you live in Newark, New Jersey. But some of you live in rural areas, you leave the keys in the car anyway. Some of you might be looking at a tractor or an ATV, so that's a possible solution, especially if you basically destroyed your cylinder getting it out. So there it is, and it actually, once it's all together, it works smoother than when I was testing it. There's accessory, there's out, there's on, there's start. So I'm happy. Hope you're happy too. Thanks for watching.